Mhm. Cool. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Apologies on a little bit of a delay here. Um, Trying to figure out how all this stuff works. Um, let's see here. Are you seeing my slide? I guess that's the question. All right, cool. Wonderful. Welcome. Howdy, howdy, howdy. All righty. Sweet. So I am solo today. Derek is off in the wild with the buffacorns. And so it's just me, everyone here. Tyler's also here. He's in the back end helping me get all this stuff going. But apologies on the delay. Yes, this is the this is a Spork Marmot shirt. So it is awesome. So cool. Well, we got a lot of things to go over today. I apologize that I'm a little late. So with that, let's kick it off, and we'll start with a little video. Cool, cool, cool. Whoops. Oh, there we go. Awesome. Well, I hope that excites you. Excites me. I think we're getting closer and closer to the date. I'm just realizing I normally am the one that will bring up the countdown clock, and I don't have the countdown clock in front of me. I also don't have Discord open. Um, so Tyler, do we have the Discord set up with the community channel so that way if people have questions, I can answer some questions if we have time at the end. That would be awesome. But let's jump in. So I wanted to kind of just talk about a recap quick about last week, and also just kind of have a update about what's going on with applications, both for the actual event and contributor applications. We have a lot of those out right now. So currently we have, I don't know, about 15,000 plus applications to attend ETH Denver. We're on about a, depending on what type of ticket you are going for. So if you are say like a Spork whale, so the 100,000, 250 Spork thousand, you'll, I think we're getting through tickets in about like, I don't know, 24 hours. If you are just a Spork DAO member and you haven't staked any Spork, I think our turn time right now is about 7 to 12 days. And then otherwise, things are just kind of moving. If you're having issues at all, we have a whole support team that is answering tickets. If you don't have a ticket, or you had an issue with your ticket, or maybe you went through the application really fast and you decided not to join the DAO, and now you want to join the DAO because you want a free ticket, there's also a process there. So if you're in one of those boats and you're looking like, hey, I can't claim my ticket because my wallet is incorrect, reach out to support. That email address is hello@ethdenver.com, and the support team will help you for that. If you didn't join the DAO and now you want to join the DAO because you want a free ticket, make sure you send an email to hello@ethdenver.com or applications@ethdenver, the same team, and they'll be able to help you. Um, Now, in regards to the other big one that everyone keeps asking about. So last week, we had 2 applications that had kind of a soft close. First one was the judging application. So if you wanted to be a judge for the Biddle-a-thon, so that happens on Sunday of the event. The first level of submitting your applications, that was due on the 13th. We're still taking applications right now. We're reviewing about 700 of those applications. There's quite a few to get through, and our judging team is working diligently to get through it. And then the other one that closed last week was the speaker applications. So last year we had basically about, I think it was like 500-600 more applications this year of people that wanted to speak in comparison to last year. So we had, I want to say, if I remember correctly from the conversation this morning, we had over 2,000 speaker applications. And so those are all being processed right now. The content team, which is Danny and Kelly, they have a team that they have established of 41 different experts from the community that are all reviewing these applications to make sure that anyone that's submitted prior to the 14th, guaranteed to be reviewed. Those are all being reviewed right now. I've gotten to see a handful of them as the Biddle steward. The Biddle X team is currently reviewing a lot of the workshops. So there's a lot of really exciting workshops, and there's even a lot of exciting talks that I'm seeing. And I'm excited to see what the community brings to both Biddle Week and the Biddle-a-thon. So one of the questions that I think will more likely happen is, well, if I go and apply right now to speak, what happens? Well, what will happen is you're going to be informed that you're put on a wait list. What that means is that if a slot were to open up, someone from the content team would reach out to you and talk to you about your talk. And if they accept it, they accept it. But given the amount of applications, 2,000 plus applications to get through, there's a lot of people that have applied. And unfortunately, we just can't accept everyone. But we're working really hard to get through them, and be on the lookout from emails from content at ethdenver. But mostly just thank you for your patience, and we'll kind of go from there. All right. So that's kind of wraps up there. The ETA on how long the process takes to get approved. So there's different processes for every single team. When it comes to judging, the judging team right now is reviewing all the applications. We'll be cutting down to about, I want to say 120 from 700. And then from there, there'll be another cut. As it relates to speakers and all that type of stuff, again, they're starting to review and submit. And then as far as applications, it depends on your application. So if you staked any type of spork, it's about 3 to 5 days. If you did not stake spork and you joined, it's in that, I don't have the number in front of me, but it's about I think it's 5 to 12 days. It just depends on how quickly we get through. Again, we're already at 15,000 applications. And so we're cruising as fast as humanly possible. So, all right, let's. I just want to kind of do a recap of last week. So last week we announced the 5 different tracks that we have for the Biddle-a-thon, and not just the Biddle-a-thon, but the overall event. That's DAOs and community, decentralized finance, impact and public goods, NFT, metaverse, and the gaming, and infrastructure and scalability. So if you're coming to attend just to enjoy all the great, amazing workshops, talks, panels, everything that is pragmatically programmed at ETH Denver, will be around one of these 5 categories. There's a lot of really cool things coming up from a design and layout perspective, and everything will be about these 5 different categories. And then if you choose to participate as a bidler in the Bidathon, you will and your team will submit to one of these 5 tracks. So everything will be around these 5 tracks. Now, the other thing that we announced last week was that we have shifted this year to uh, doing what we call bounty categories. So we spent a lot of time looking at what works with hackathons or bidathons from a bounties perspective. And we identified that it would be really helpful to bidlers to know what type of bounty a sponsor is submitting to. So the bounty steward, Matt, and his team, we came up with this category. And so the 5 categories that all bounties will live within will either be a feature bounty, a bug or issue bounty, a launch MVP on testnet or mainnet, the really cool one that we spent a good amount of time last week talking about, which is the early stage startup. So this is for all those of you that are maybe already have like a small team and you guys are working on a project and you're looking for, how do I get to the next milestone? How do I get to accelerator funding? That type of category is really attractive, and a lot of the bounties that I've seen coming in from sponsors right now are really cool. And it's really going to open up the door, so that way you as a bidler can keep bidding and know exactly, here are my opportunities for funding for $50,000, funding for $100,000, funding for $80,000. I mean, the spectrum is really kind of diverse right now. So really excited about that. And then the last category that we have is the meaningful open source collaboration. So if you are participating in the Bidathon, you'll have those 5 categories at your disposal. Inside those 5 categories, there's going to be between 100 to 500 some bounties available to you. Right now, we're looking at about over $2 million in prizes available to bidlers. So if you're thinking about coming or you're on the fence, get off the fence, become a bidler. It's going to be an awesome year. So, all right. So let's talk about judging. So judging is pretty identical to what it was last year with some tweaks. So at ETH Denver's Bidathon, there's 2 types of judging. There are track judging, and then there are sponsor bounty judging. Let's first talk about track judging. So track judging is done by community judges. So these individuals are experts in their craft. They are responsible for reviewing and watching about all your projects and all your submissions, and they are experts. We have actually narrowed down the type of experts into 4 different classes or 4 different categories. We did this because a lot of the feedback that we got from bidlers over the summer was that some felt like the judges that were judging were either unqualified, they weren't technical enough, they didn't know UI, UX design, they don't know business development. So there's kind of like a spectrum of concern about who the different judges are. So we really pulled back the curtain, kind of looked at how could we shape this. And so we came up with this idea of 4 different classes. So the 4 different classes are broken up into technical, business, investment and professional, and artist, designer, UX. So when you are presenting your project on one of the main stages this year, you can be rest assured that someone in the audience that is a judge will be technically inclined, will be business minded, will be investment and professionally minded, and artist, designer, UI, UX. So those are going to be really kind of cool. And having seen all the different judges that are there and what we're narrowing down right now, it's pretty even, and it's pretty exciting. I'm seeing a lot of things in the chat right now about, I want to know more about the different bounties. So kind of about bounties. So if you're interested in knowing more about the bounty categories, if you go to twitch.tv/Ethereum Denver, you'll find the recording from last week. That kind of will talk a little bit more about the different categories. If you want to know what the actual bounties are, those bounties will be announced on February 20th. So we do not announce any of the bounties prior to February 20th. On the 20th, we will do a live stream where we will actually talk and bring in some of the sponsors to talk about the different bounties. And so you can kind of see what all that is leading up to February 24th, which is the actual start day for the Bidathon. So, yeah, so there we go. All right, let's talk about the track judging schedule. So the track judging schedule is broken into 2 different rounds. The first round is focused on that community judging. So every single team that submits a project will be judged on Sunday. This year, you will all be presenting on individual track stages. At ETH Denver this year, we have I think we have 8 different stages. And depending on how many bidlers participate this year will be dependent upon on Sunday on how many of those stages we need to activate. So for sure, if you submit a project to the NFT, metaverse, and gaming track, you will be presenting your project to the community judges on the NFT, gaming, and metaverse track. If you submit to the DAOs and community track, you'll submit and present on that track. From a changeover in years past, the amount of time that you were given was a little bit longer, but because we have a lot of submissions, and we unfortunately didn't always plan for buffers, this year we are planning for buffers and making sure that enough time is allocated so you can answer questions to the judge questions, which was one of the pieces of feedback that we got. And also providing you enough time to be able to present your idea. And so the breakdown for that is you will have 2 minutes and 30 seconds to present your project to the judges. The judges will have up to a minute to ask their question. And then you will have a minute to respond to the judge's question. And then the next team will go. In the second round of the track judging, we are going to move from all the track judges to the main big stage. So the main stage, basically the top 25 teams that come out of round 1 will be invited to present in front of the entire ETH Denver community on the main stage. We have 5 celebrity judges. Those celebrity judges are experts in their craft. And those people will be announced later, closer to the event. And they will be listening, and each one of them will get to pick their favorite project. And then you'll walk away potentially with, Vitalik's Choice Award. Or let's see, we also had Griff last year. But we have a pool of different judges that are pretty exciting. And that's going to be awesome. I'm just kind of paying attention here to things and also looking to see if I have any notes here from Tyler. I think we're good. Let's see. Is that an e-participant? We'll get to some of the rules here in a moment. Do we have to submit the project that we want to build in advance, or do we just go and build? We'll talk about that here in a moment. All right. So part 1 was track judging. The other form of judging that we have for ETH Denver is sponsor bounty judging. So sponsor bounty judging is organized by the different sponsors that are making basically ETH Denver happen. They have established their own judging teams. Those judging teams are involved in not only judging your projects on Sunday, but they're also responsible and involved on the actual designing of the bounties. So a bounty team for a sponsor includes a technical person, a design person, and a business UI, business like development, business marketing, business communication. We are really trying to be intentional about making sure that the bounties that are being submitted are not just for developers, but also for those that are business minded, interested in compliance, interested in design. We're really trying to help teams really think about the overall picture of what it takes to make a great project. So that way you can keep bidding after ETH Denver. Um, the sponsor bounty judging, we also have two different groups of people that are involved in it beyond just sponsors. We have the ETH Denver bounty steward and the meta steward and the council. So the steward and the meta steward are responsible for reviewing all the applications that basically all the applications of the bounties. They're narrowing them down. They're making sure that it's something that a bidler would want to biddle, given that they are bidlers themselves. And they also have a council of people that are also, developers, front end, smart contract developers, back end developers, UI, UX designers. And we're really looking at every single bounty to make sure that they're all something that a bidler would be interested in bidding. And it's very clear, so you know what to expect. Um, so there. And then the other cool thing that we're introducing this year is this rubric idea. So there is an overall rubric for bounties. And the purpose of this is that we want to make sure that you, as the bidler that is submitting a project, if you submit to a bounty, that you are provided some form of feedback, some form of information about what you did well or what didn't work. A lot of the times, teams will mention, "I worked effortlessly on this bounty," and the judge for the sponsor did not provide any feedback. So I don't know if I was like totally off. If I was I slightly off, was my idea good? So one of the things that we wanted to do was introduce the rubric, and the rubric is just kind of like technical design, um, use, like is there an actual use case. So there's different details that each project will be graded on. And then in addition, sponsors also have their own bounty judging criteria, which will all be listed on those bounty pages. So on one side, you'll for sure get details on this is what you did well, this is what you didn't do well, and this is also the judging criteria for the actual bounty itself, which we think will be great. So, all right, I'm just paying attention here on all my screens here. All right, let's talk about the schedule for the bounties. Once 8 a.m. hits on Sunday, which is the deadline for all project submission, both projects and bounties, the bounties stewards will basically disseminate all the available projects that have been submitted. Sponsors will log into their portal and they will be able to see all the different submissions that were done by biddle teams. They will review them first. Going through the portal will allow them to identify the projects that they really want to go and meet, the ones that don't meet the criteria. And if they don't meet the criteria, that's when they're going to provide the information about why. And then start scheduling times to meet with you at your table. So the unique thing about ETH Denver is that we really want to make the judging and the bounty project submission part really community driven. So the track part is about the projects, whereas the science fair aspect allows the community to come and engage with the bidlers about their projects. And so that's also at the time when you're sitting at your table will be when sponsors are also going around engaging with the different bidler teams. Very similar to the track projects, they are to follow the same amount of time that's given, to where you will have 2 minutes and 30 seconds to present your bounty to them. They will have a minute to ask you a question, and then you will have a minute to respond. We do this because we want a fair playing field, and it's provided for some really great conversations based off of a lot of feedback. And so there. And again, so sponsor feedback is required. So rest assured, if you're working on something, you will get some form of feedback on the why, what you did great. Because again, we want you to keep biddling after this event. We are really just a vessel for you to get in front of people and get in front of sponsors that are interested on getting certain things solved. And then there will be sponsor guidelines available on every single bounty. All right. All right. Let's talk about mentoring. So, mentoring is another thing that we took a really long look at this year. And we have always had what's called a Biddle X team. And we have now kind of expanded upon it a little bit. And what we've done is we've now introduced a couple different roles. The first one is the Biddler Steward. So the Biddler Steward, his name is Graven. He is amazing, and his entire focus is around you, the Biddler, and connecting you to both bounties, mentors, and sponsors. So one of the pieces of feedback that we got was sometimes it's intimidating to reach out to a mentor, or it's hard to find a sponsor, or it's hard to find someone that knows how to solve the problem that you're trying to solve. So Graven's whole responsibility is to know both the bounties, to know the mentors, to know who's the right person to get in touch with that is a sponsor. So you aren't left there twiddling your thumbs wondering, who do I talk to? We really want to make sure that when you are stuck, you know exactly who to go to. And Graven is going to be one of those people. Graven is also responsible to help organize what is called the Biddler Palace, which we'll get into in a couple slides. Then we also have the Bounties Steward. So I talked about this a little bit earlier, and the Bounties Council. So Matt and Max are Bounties Stewards, and their entire responsibility is to work with sponsors on making sure that the bounties that are submitted are things that biddlers would actually want to biddle on. Sometimes bounties that are provided just are not that interesting, or it feels like cheap labor. And so we're really trying to change it so that way any bounty that is submitted is something that's really exciting and something that some form of biddler would actually want to biddle on. Then we have the Mentor Steward. Mentor Steward is Casey. Casey is an OG in the space. And I love that dude. Actually, I love them all. So Casey was heavily involved in like the merge. He has a pretty long-standing technical background. He also has an amazing parrot. But I think the biggest thing is that he really knows a lot of people in the space that really know and are holding dear to the ethos of ETH Denver, and knowing people that can actually help mentor and guide people when they're stuck. So he is reviewing like, I don't know, I think there's like over 600 applications to be mentors right now. One of the things that he is looking for right now, so if you're watching and you're listening, or you're going to watch this later, if you are a technical based mentor, so you're like a back-end developer, you are a front-end developer, you understand smart contracts, we are looking for more mentors that is what they're passionate about, and they want to help other people. So if you've been in that field, and that's your focus, and that's your passion, and it's your love, please, please, please go to events.ethdenver.com and fill out the mentor application. You can also submit, you can send an email to mentors@ethdenver.com, and that will also go to the mentor team. So pretty exciting. I'll get here in a little bit. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll talk about some of the mentor things that we have set up. The last type of steward that we have is the judging steward. So the judging steward is responsible for the biddle-a-thon and organizing all the judges. We also have the judging council, which is a group of amazing humans that have backgrounds in the business, the technical, the investment, and the UI UX design, that have proven themselves as being experts in the field. They have participated in hackathons before, and they've been involved in really cool things like Y Combinator, tech startups. Some of them have raised funds for $80, $100 million. They're really, I think my favorite thing about about them, though, is that they're really committed to making all bidlers successful and creating ways for you guys to continue building your project. And so we're really looking at things from that lens. So the other cool thing for mentors this year is what I call mentor access. So one of the one of the pieces of feedback that I got this summer was sometimes it feels hard to reach out to mentors, or uh, I am I don't want to feel dumb. There's a lot of like maybe like imposter syndrome. Like I don't know what to ask, or uh, I'm so new to this. I don't want to look dumb. Um, my hope is that you can push all those feelings aside. You are attending a bidathon for the entire intention of learning as well as bidling, and we are all. This is a brand new space. I mean, blockchain is a relatively new technology. Things are still moving. We might be in a bear run, but we've been doing this for quite some time, and we expect that there are people that are brand new. I mean, it's ultimately the reason why we came up with Camp Biddle, which is an entire new program where if you haven't yet heard, Camp Biddle it's currently open up for applications, and it's entirely intended for newbies. And it's basically a full-on course that takes you from start to finish to actually submitting a project to the Biddleathon. And it has incredible leaders, and that's actually being led by Derek, our community steward. He's one of the deans. And so if you're thinking about that's theirs. But again, kind of go back to the whole mentor access. We really want to make sure that you feel comfortable walking up, and however you want to approach a mentor, you can do that. So what we did was we have 5 different ways that you can connect with mentors. So we have the Biddle Hub. So Biddle Hub is happening during Biddle Week. So this is February 24th through March 1st. There will be a mentor space. You'll be able to walk in. There will be a mentor available to you. There will also be different development, like relations type people from different sponsors hanging out. And this space will be there so that if you want to, either you're looking for a team, you have questions on your project or how to strategize your project, how to strategize your bounty, Biddle Hub will be a place that you can do that. And then when we transition to the core event, which starts on March 2nd through the 5th, we are at the National Sport Castle, and there are, I don't know, there's at least 2 spaces entirely intended for bidling. So when you walk in, you will be actually in what we call the Hall of Education. That's going to be where all the sponsors are, where all the exhibitor booths are. There'll be a lot of opportunities for team formation in there. And then you'll walk through these double doors and you'll land in this co-working lounge. And that's where a bunch of people will be co-working. And then if you make your way downstairs, there was a giant floor that's entirely intended for bidling. So that is basically Biddle floor. And there will be bean bags, chairs, conference tables, whiteboarding, food. And there's even like a little amphitheater, which I'll talk about here in a moment. And then we also have virtual mentorship. So if you are in Discord and you want to engage with people, or maybe you can't find someone that's physically available, the virtual mentorship on the Discord channel will have mentors available 24/7. So really, that's also awesome. And again, if you're looking for that, you can 100% apply to the mentor application, and they'll review that. Another resource for you for that is talking with sponsors. So sponsors are some of your biggest advocates. So you can either go to someone like Graven, who's one of the Bidler stewards, and he can point you in the right direction, or you can go on Discord, and every single sponsor will have their own individual channel that you can reach out to, or you can walk upstairs, or maybe you're already on the 2nd floor and you can walk into the booth and talk to the sponsor that you need to talk to. So that's the 4th option. And then the 5th one is this really cool thing that we have. It's called Bidler Palace. So on the bottom floor of the Biddle floor, there's this thing called Bidler Palace, which actually is a beef palace that is normally used to auction off cattle. So it's kind of this really cool room where there's a little mini stage, there's little bleachers, but we're going to transform it and turn it into Bidler Palace. And Bidler Palace is really going to be a place where we can dive into um, the more of the workshops and being able to help guide you um, on um, on how to succeed. And so a lot of these workshops that are happening are all either community led or sponsor led. And so we've kind of broken them down into like three different classes of workshops. But really, the real intention here is we really want to help you succeed. So we've are creating content specifically for that. So what does that look like? So we call them skills, labs, and walks. So these are different classifications of different types of workshops. So skills are going to be workshops that are around like Bidler topics, processes, techniques on how to use the technology. And then there are labs, which are more of this like interactive, hands-on participation, ask me anything with key leaders. And then there's walks, like actually deploying your project out into the real world, maybe learning how to present, how to answer questions from judges, how to, I think I saw a really cool one about being an influencer or like how to get in front of the right people. There's all sorts of really cool workshops right now that we're going through that have all been submitted by the community. And so those are the things that will end up making its way onto the Bidler Palace workshop stage. And it's really there to kind of just open up the door for bidlers to continue learning and build better projects. All right, let's see. Let's go to the next slide here. So let's talk about Bidler Bucks. So one of the things, if you've ever participated in Eat Denver, is you're probably familiar with food trucks. And you were probably familiar with having a wallet, and that wallet had a certain amount of dollars on it, and you could walk up to the truck and you could buy food. Um, we're taking that same concept this year, we're expanding on it, and the Bidler Bucks is now fully integrated into the entire Biddle-a-thon experience. So you will, as a bidler, need to download. Actually, everyone that comes is going to have to download the My Ether wallet, which is the official wallet for ETH Denver 2023, and you will be airdropped Bidler Bucks, and this will be your gateway to free food, free drinks, as well as Bidler airdrops. One of the great and exciting things for this year is that if you are bidling, you are going to have the opportunity to earn more Bidler Bucks to go buy another fancy coffee, or maybe you want pizza or another extra hamburger. The Bidler Bucks will be kind of your gateway to keep eating. You also still have access to the Bidler Bodega, but this year you will use your Biddle Bucks to buy the different types of snacks. But by biddling, you're always going to have a good amount of supply of bucks to be able to buy food, drinks, and participate in these awesome airdrops that we will be doing. So there is that. All right. Quickly about track prizes. So track prizes are done both from a monetary perspective and a recognition. So those that make it to the top 25, the way that we do this is that there is a pool of money that is associated to each track. And if, let's say, there are 3 teams that make it to the final stage on the main stage on Sunday, those 3 people would split the overall purse of that track prize. In addition, each celebrity judge will be picking one of their favorite projects of the top 25, and then that person or that team really will get to take the credit of being able to say so and so was picked me, and I'm awesome. So going to be pretty fun. Let's talk about team formation, because I'm kind of seeing all these questions about formation. What does it look like? So similar to last year and years past, we're still at 2 to 4 people per team. ETH Denver is not a solo hackathon or biddle-a-thon. This is intended to create community. We want you guys to meet each other. We want you guys to share, talk about ideas on how to solve problems. So to do that, we believe that it is best for people to form 2-person to 4-person teams, and that will create more projects. During the event, both during Biddle Week and during the Biddle-a-thon, like Thursday, Friday, we will be doing team formation opportunities. So that's led by Graven and some of the meta stewards on the Biddle X team. And so we will be creating ways for you to meet each other based off of track interests. Maybe you have an interest on technical or business, and we want to congregate so that way we can kind of say, all right, you're technical, your business, you are design, you are project management. Let's get you guys together and see if we can create teams with you. So there's a lot of really great people. And actually, what's really kind of fun is that a lot of the projects that won last year were people that none of them knew each other. They all walked in solo as individuals. A couple of them, this was the first time they ever participated in a hackathon, and they managed to form a 2, 3, or 4-person team, and they made it to the top 25. And one of them, actually, to my understanding, won about $100,000 in both track prizes and bounty prizes. So the playing field to participate in the Biddle-a-thon is very open. Again, there's gonna be anywhere between 100 to 500 bounties. So there's a lot of opportunity there. Lots of opportunity. So rules, the fun part. So you have to be in physical attendance at ETH Denver. Everyone has to be in physical attendance. You also have to be in physical attendance for all presentations to win track prizes or bounty prizes. Again, this is a 2 to 4 member per team. No solo submissions. No solo submissions even for bounties. This is across the spectrum. We will be announcing the bounties on the 20th of February, but you cannot start working on your project until the 24th at 10 a.m. We do not allow previous code from other past projects or from other hackathons. So last year, we unfortunately had quite a few projects that submitted, and they actually didn't update anything in their repository. And unfortunately, we had to disqualify them. And we don't want to disqualify. We want people to come biddle. We want to give away the bounties. We want to give away the track prizes, and so do the sponsors. So please do not use previous code from past hackathons. If you are, for example, you are a company like, I'll take WeLook as an example. So WeLook is our ticketing provider. Some of their developers might participate in the Biddle-a-thon, and they already have a project, they already have a code. So one thing that they could do is they could create something brand new that is for their product, but it's all 100% brand new code. So that's what we're looking for. We want brand new ideas, brand new things that you're working on. We're not bringing in new projects, because then that really would be unfair, because you're already steps ahead of other people. All right. All right. All right. Couple things that I've been noticing in some of the across the space, as well as things that I have just been brought to my attention from different Biddle X stewards, is this idea around priority access to the building. So in years past, you probably were familiar. Unfortunately, last year we had so many people come that we had lines out the door to get into the Sport Castle. And if you had a Biddler badge, you were able to get into the building a lot faster. This year, we have upgraded our building by, I'd say, like 4 to 7x. So the amount of space that is available is it's ginormous. There's gonna be a lot of walking. I'm sure I'm gonna do a lot of miles on my cardio. So if you are applying to attend ETH Denver and you are checking the box that you are a bidler, but you actually don't have the intention of bidling, you'll get a bidler badge for sure. We're not going to hold those back, but you're not going to. Everyone's going to be able to get in the building. It's big. It's massive. There's not going to be a shortage of seating. There is plenty of space. So again, if you're checking the box to Biddle, we're hoping that you're actually coming to Biddle. If you're checking the box because you want priority access or you want additional perks, the most additional perks that you get are by biddling. So if you are going to come and participate as a bidler, you can earn more biddle bucks to buy more coffees or buy more burgers or pizza. You can or more kombucha, different types of things. You also are going to open up the possibility to present your project in front of some incredible judges, which could lead to you getting employed if you're looking for a job. So there's a lot of perks to being a bidler that aren't just like getting access to the building. There's a lot of really cool things coming, and I got to be careful because some of it's too alpha, but it's going to be cool. If we are using existing project code, but then use it in new ways, is this okay? Like building on top of an existing money Lego. So any situation where like you're working on a project that already exists, as long as all the new code that's coming in is new, we're working. That's kind of where our starting line. If you have a specific question before you actually start working, you can go to the mentor area, and the mentors can help also like really dive in to look at and say like this would work, this would not work. Obviously, like, in a world today, you can go to React and you can pull up different libraries that already exist. We know that those exist, and you're going to utilize those to save time in your actual building. So we expect those to be used. But as far as like the core of your code, it needs to be brand new. Again, that is why the mentor resource is there. So if you are coming in with an existing project and you want to be sure that you are not going to be disqualified, I would strongly urge you to go talk to one of the mentor stewards or the Biddle stewards, and we'll be able to say like, this is what would be good, what would not. I would say that if you're coming in with code from an existing project, you're in what I would call like gray territory. So let's help it get you out of gray territory and get you into white territory, building something awesome using the bounties from the sponsors. So that way you can get on your project and, realistically present your project on a stage in front of a lot of people to get some exposure. So, cool. All right. So, what are some additional next steps? I'm just kind of present to time. I also was late a couple minutes, so I'll hang out, answer some questions. But as far as like, what are some next steps that you guys all have? So again, Camp Biddle, if you are a newbie, brand new to blockchain, brand new to Web3, and you want to learn from some of the most smartest human beings in this ecosystem, go apply to participate in Camp Biddle. The program and all the coursework that's being designed right now, I got a sneak peek of it. It is amazing. I wish if I wasn't a steward for ETH Denver, I would go sign up to participate in Camp Biddle, because there's so many things in there that I would finally get to learn, and it would probably actually make sense. Like for me, one of the most troublesome things are for loops. I still don't understand them. Mitch has helped me a lot, but for loops are still my weak point. Another resource that you all have is Biddle Week. So Biddle Week is pre-core event. So this happens from February 24th through March 1st. Biddle Week is really about workshops. There are, I think I saw a tweet out there that there's like 400 different workshops happening just over the course of Biddle Week. There's obviously in Biddle Week, we have Biddle Hub, which is like the the centerfold for Biddle Week. So we have a lot of companies that are hosting like mini summits that are focused on like employment, focused on like gaming. I don't remember all of them. There's a lot of them. The calendar is coming very, very soon, but lots of opportunity there. I think there's only like a handful of spots. So if you're looking for a like official way to be a part of like ETH Denver, like official, there's a handful of spots in Biddle Hub, the Source, and the Vibe that are still available for booking, whether it's workshops, panels, talks, or even happy hours. So some really cool content there. And then in addition, during the week, Derek, our amazing community steward, he hosts all these different types of content and workshops with different sponsors that are a part of ETH Denver. And I think there was either one that just happened that was about UI UX that I was looking forward to kind of seeing. And then there's some pretty cool things that he's doing to kind of build up interest. So if you're brand new to the space and you're looking to either find people to biddle with or engage with, that's another place. Go hang out with Derek in those Twitch streams. The last place is kind of like our hub for all community engagement, which is Discord. So if you go to discord.gg/SporkDAO, that will take you to the SporkDAO Discord channel. In there are different channels to be able to make introductions, find other people to biddle with, start creating teams, so many different ways to engage and go from there. So that's kind of a great way. There's also a lot of mentors in there. So that's like kind of another thing. The other thing is we just launched this today. This is the Biddle-a-thon preparation guide. A lot of the things that I've talked about today and last week are all on this website. So this is how to prepare for ETH Denver 2023 as a biddler. It talks about bounties. It talks about tracks. It talks about rules. It talks about how to approach the Biddle-a-thon. There's some really great articles that are already available, as well as more that are coming out from the different stewards that are a part of ETH Denver, both on a Biddle X team, as well as some of our people that are on content or part of events. There's some pretty cool people that are a part of our community, and we're always trying to provide ways to educate and get you guys plugged in and get you guys prepared to have an awesome time. I would say that one of my favorite things for the last 6 months of really kind of leading up to this event, actually no, it's been a year, leading up to this, has really been looking at how do we make ETH Denver's Biddle-a-thon really amazing. How do you as a biddler get a lot of value from it? How can you walk away to where you're like, I know where to go to get more funding for my project. I met some new people to keep biddling with. We really want you to succeed. And a lot of the people that make up the BiddleX team, as well as just ETH Denver in general, are all here to make sure that you guys succeed and you guys are having fun. And really that we as a collective community are biddling and deciding what our future will look like from a perspective of decentralization. So that's all that I have for today. I'm going to look at some of the questions that Tyler has given me. I know that it's 3:00 on the hour. I was 5 minutes late. I apologize. But let me answer some of these questions. I'll hang out for a little bit. So if there are questions that you have about something that I might have talked about today or last week, feel free to go to like the Discord channel or wherever you are right now. I will answer them. If you have specific questions like I can't access my ticket, please email applications@ethdenver.com. We have an amazing support team that can help you figure out what's going on with your ticket. And I think based off of some of the things that I'm getting here, I do have some questions about ticketing in general. What does that look like? So what does so there's some situations where some people, when they originally completed the application to attend ETH Denver, um, they might have just flown through it. Um, I know that there are a lot of questions in there. We use those questions to make sure that the content and the programming that we have is really catered to you, and making sure that someone is available to make sure that you have a fun time and a good time. And so if you flew through it and you did not read all the slides, you were just clicking buttons, and you found yourself in a place where you are now have been identified as a non-member, and you are going to have to pay $599 to attend ETH Denver, but you want to attend for free, we do have a process now that you can request to join the DAO. And what will happen is we will delete your current application that says that you don't want to be a member. You can then reapply as a member. You'll go through the same process that all the members did when they first applied. We will validate your wallet, make sure everything's good. We will make sure that you get added in, and then you'll get your ticket, and you'll be able to claim it, and then you'll be able to attend. Now, let's talk about the second part, wallets. So when you fill out the application, it asks you for an Ethereum wallet address. It also identifies different types of wallets that are compatible with WeLook. And sometimes people put in a wallet and something happens. Something happened could be that someone hacked your wallet, and now you can't get into that wallet, but you want your ticket because you've been accepted. Well, now what you need to do is just submit a new wallet. And so we have a process for that. So if you send an email to applications@ethdenver.com, you can say, hey, can I reset my wallet? One of our amazing support specialists will send you a link so you can reset your wallet. When you do that, it will come back to someone from the support team. We will then validate that the request was valid. We will then update your wallet, and then we will resubmit your new wallet to WeLook, which will void your old wallet ticket, and you'll get a new one, and then you'll be able to claim that and check in at ETH Denver. So there's that. Let's see. Looking, Tyler. Where else do I need to go? Oh, here we go. Does the Mu wallet have to have the same address used for the registration for the DAO? So the Mu wallet for the BittleBucks will be, from my understanding, and I'll have to 100% get back, but my understanding is that it is a different wallet, because as of right now, Mu is not integrated into WeLook. So it would be a different wallet address, but I want to make sure. So let me, I'm going to have to get back to you, just to make sure. I want to make sure that I'm giving the right info, and I do not know off the top of my head. I don't. So yeah, let me get back to whoever that was that sent that amazing question. All right, Tyler, are you there? Am I missing anything? I can't hear you.
Not that I'm aware of. I'm checking all the channels. I don't see anything.
Let's see. All right. Let's see. I'm just scrolling. You want merch? Who doesn't want merch, dude? ETH Denver's merch is by far the best in the entire Web3 ecosystem, in my opinion. If you want merch, you can actually go to buffacorn.com right now, and you can buy merch. You can buy, the Spork Marmot shirt. You can buy the original. You can buy plushies of the Buffacorn, which I guess it's on the other side of my desk, which I can't get. So can't get the Buffacorn. Let's see. But yeah, if you go to buffacorn.com, you can buy merch. You'll also be able to buy merch at ETH Denver as well. So there's some really cool things on the horizon for that. It'll be really exciting. So there's that. let's see, kind of just keep scrolling here. Is Camp Biddle only for the dev side of biddling? No, it is not. It's more on the business. So there's actually a UI UX track design. There's and yes, Camp Biddle is limited to 250 total people. So this is like a alpha program that was created out of the brilliant brains of those that have already created ETH Denver. And so like Chainlink's involved, Solange is involved. Obviously John Pollar's involved. I think Austin Griffith from Biddle Giddle is involved. There's a lot of really amazing people that are involved. And I don't know what is alpha and what isn't, so I'm going to be careful on naming any other names. But yeah, if you want more information on it, 100%, if Camp Biddle is your jam or it looks interesting to you, go to the ethdenver.com, and then underneath Biddle, there is an option for Camp Biddle. So you have that option there. All right. What is the final date to submit attendee applications? I don't know that there is a final date. It really depends on how many applications. So that date could change. So depends on how many applications get submitted will be dependent upon when we have to shut doors, because there is a max capacity. We did scale 4 times in regards to like the size of space that we have, but we do have a limit on how many people can actually enter the building. So there's only a certain amount of people that we can approve. So if you are like, what is the final day? I would say the final day to submit is like, you already know that you want to attend, go and apply right now, so you don't miss out on the opportunity and be late. Go fill out the application right now. Go invite your friends to fill it out. I'm constantly pinging my friends. Go fill it out. Go fill it out. So do we first submit the project, then build, or so?
I responded to that one.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So this year, one of the milestones for this is alpha. So here's a fun alpha. So one of there's different milestones built into different days that unlock different cool things that are going to happen. And by unlocking those things, you get access to some pretty cool things and pretty cool opportunities. So one of those first milestones is to form a team and submit what project you're working on and what your idea is. So on the platform that we're going to be using, which we'll be announcing some probably in a couple weeks or sometime soon, I don't exactly know. You will be able to form your team, create your project, and establish like, this is what we're working on and this is the idea. You will then submit that to our mentor team. And then when you do that, they will scan your badge and you will get extra, at one, you'll get extra Biddle bucks. And 2, it unlocks some opportunities that will come during the rest of the Biddle-a-thon. So there might be some pretty cool things that might happen in the evening. If you choose to keep biddling instead of maybe going to a party, there might be some cool opportunities to be in a room with some cool people and get other cool things. Is an acceptance to virtual ETH Denver different than So there is no acceptance to virtual ETH Denver this year. There is no virtual let me back this up. So there's only in-person Biddle-a-thon, and there's only you can attend. But if you want to say that you live in Antarctica and you're not going to find yourself getting on a plane, flying to Denver, Colorado, and you want to keep learning, you can go to ethdenver.com and you can watch one of the many different streams that we will have available. Again, I said it earlier, we have 8 different stages available. All of those 8 stages will be live streamed. And so there will be a live stream specific to DAOs and communities, NFTs, metaverse and gaming, impact, infrastructure and scalability. So you can participate for free in virtual ETH Denver by participating through the live streams. And there is an entire community around there that is, and I think not Derek, Tyler, aren't you creating a team, or are you looking for people to help volunteer to help in that space, or what is that going to look like? I know that's in your field house.
Speaking specifically to volunteering, if you're not going to be at the event.
Yeah, and you want to like participate in the virtual side, or like the community of engaging and moderation and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, strictly speaking, I am looking for a couple people to help out with live stream moderation while the event's going on. So if anybody is interested, feel free to hit me up, and we can get that worked out.
Cool. But so virtual ETH Denver is strictly live stream, watch online, engage in that community. If it's anything like last year, there'll be hundreds of people engaged, chatting with each other. But acceptance to Biddle is 100% only in person. Last year we had a virtual Biddle-a-thon. This year it's only in person. All right, I'm going to do one more pass here, see if there's any more questions that I might be able to answer. Otherwise, we will be back next week doing this again.
How many max bidlers? Did you already answer that one?
Maximum bidlers on a team is 2 to 4. So 2 to 4. I didn't sign up to Biddle, but I've decided to form a team. Can you just show up? If you wanna be a bidler, submit a ticket to the applications at ETH Denver and just say, I want to be a bidler. And we can update your application to say that you want to be a bidler. But when you check in, you'll be given a badge if you want to biddle. Cool. There's so many questions. Let's see. I think I answered that one. E-attendance participation. In order to participate in the Biddle-a-thon, you have to be present in ETH Denver, and you have to be present the entire time. So if you're making travel arrangements and you submit a project and you have to fly home, that's going to create a problem if you submit a project and then you're not there to be a part of it. You have to be present. My wife wants to hang out with dogs. That area of the Zen Zone was pretty awesome. So is being a mentor preventing me from participating in the hackathon? Great question. I mean, realistically, like if you're a mentor and you want to help other people, mentor, like guide them on how to be successful, I'm open to that. Like, let's do that. I'm totally fine with that. The only problem that that you can't do if you want to be a mentor is be a judge. You can't be a mentor and a judge. It can only be one or the other. All right. Well, I think I've gone pretty far down here. But cool. Well, thank you for joining with me. I apologize again that I was 5 minutes late. Now we're here, we're 10 minutes over answering questions. Let me jump over here to Discord to make sure I didn't miss anything. No, I think that's it. Again, if you are, if you want to participate as a mentor, go to events.eatdenver.com/, I think, mentor, and you can fill out that application, and you will get reviewed by the team and go from there. If you want to participate as a judge, you can still apply. We're still looking for people that are technical minded. If you want to volunteer for Eat Denver, that team is still looking for people that want to volunteer, and there's a whole spectrum of different ways that you can volunteer. If you applied to speak and you want to know what's going on with your application, the team is working very quickly and efficiently at reviewing all the applications. There's over 40 people that are reviewing applications that were submitted by people that want to speak, and making sure that everything gets reviewed and looked at. And if you are invited, you will receive an email. And yeah. And again, if you have a ticket issue, just create a support ticket. You can do that by emailing application, and there's that. So looks like Tyler's headset died, so he is he is back. But I think I'm good. I think we're good, Tyler. I think I've answered every question that I can see in contact support and also in the community call. So with that, I think I'm going to end today's episode of Raise Your Spork. So thank you, everyone. We look forward to seeing you all in Denver and seeing you next week.